9 to noon, Nordo in for PA on a New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to Lavelle Neal III in studio with me now at Lavelle Neal via X. I'm just going to start it here. And I imagine that would be your response to when I say, how was the cruise, Lavelle? How was the cruise?
It was absolutely wonderful. Great experience. Great people, great conversations, copious amounts of alcohol.
Sheesh.
Copious amounts of cigar smoking.
Yeah.
Enjoyed our 3 stops. Well, the first one was at St. Martin, the Dutch side, not the French side.
All right.
And St. Thomas was next, and Nassau was the final day.
Wow.
So people at St. Martin seem to be a little irritated that we were there. I don't know if that's a Dutch thing or not, but St. Thomas people were really nice, and Nassau loved us. So it was fantastic, man. Just to chill, totally unplug. You're on a boat. You got no control over where you're going. You're not driving.
Yeah.
But you've got restaurants and you've got theaters and you've got stuff to do on board. I went to a Scotch tasting event, and my brother found they were doing bingo. They did bingo like 3 times during the cruise. Larry won $380 playing bingo.
There we go.
Meals are fantastic. We went off script because, with the all-inclusive bit, you get to eat the main dining hall. But if you want to try some of the restaurants, it's kind of like you have to pay for those. And we did that a couple times. Did a great seafood dinner. Hit the hibachi grill Saturday night. Great entertainment, because with the hibachi guys, they're always singing and playing with their knives and cracking jokes. So it was hot sake too. So it was good. The only thing that irritated me was I called them RHYs, roaming hordes of youths.
Oh.
Between
unsupervised kids.
Yes. Between 8 and 11 p.m. every night, all of a sudden, they're traveling like in packs of 5 and 6. They're just roaming the ship.
And nobody's safe.
Goofing off. There's a 1 a.m. curfew. I don't think that was really enforced for kids under 18. It seemed like they were hanging out. People were in hot tubs as late as 1 a.m. in the morning. But there was an adult-only area, too, where we spent a bunch of time at as well.
Yeah,
so.
how would you know that people were in the hot tub until 1 a.m.?
Because I was up till 1 a.m.
Unless you were in the hot tub at 1 a.m.
And plus, I discovered this. There's a center on a ship. It's called a casino, and I discovered the casino the second night.
Now that's not part of the all-inclusive, is it?
No, it's not. So, but I ended up closing it down 3 or 4 times. So it was great because my sister and brother aren't night owls. So by 11 o'clock midnight, they're dozing off, so I can always have the late night cigar. I was I was in the smoking area when Green Bay lost and the Bears clinched the division. So there were a couple of Bears fans around, so we were kind of celebrating that. There was an Eagles fan on board who got mad because my brother had on a Bears jersey, and he was like, "Don't even look at me, you beat us," So some of that stuff was going on, but it was a great time. We're already talking about doing another one. Don't know if we're going to do the same one or a different part of the Caribbean, or maybe mix in a little Mexico action. We'll see.
Was this your first cruise?
First cruise ever. And I will say this.
I've still never been on one. So.
I will say this. There are definitely pros and cons to getting the drink package.
Really?
So, yes. So, fortunately, when I was looking at the list of booze available on the drink package, Buffalo Trace bourbon was one of us. Okay, I'm in now. I can drink Buffalo Trace to my heart's content. And by day 3, let's see, there was a bar on the 15th deck, 2 bars on the 15th deck, and the bar at the casino. By day 3, I would be walking up to the bar, and they would go, Buffalo Trace, 1 cube of ice. Yes, you remembered. So I established that pattern pretty early.
So is that is it like a wristband or something that you in terms of the package?
No, they
just run a room key or something?
Yeah, they stamp it on your room key when you check in.
Okay.
So,
you still got it.
Yeah, I still got it right here.
Put it in the scrapbook.
So it's right there, and it says deluxe drink package.
Deluxe.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
see, I'm boring. I would probably do it because I would just have beer. But now you're talking Buffalo Trace.
Well, you have children too, and that sounds like, because I have a buddy. His kids are just getting to high school age now. I think they're just getting, and they wear out the Disney cruises. They do the Disney cruise, and it help. And the kid bit, it's a lot of stuff. And and I did Royal Caribbean, and there's stuff for kids to do. There's a gigantic water slide that you go up to the 16th deck to hop into, and then you slide all the way down to like the 14th deck. You know,
I wasn't thinking about bringing the kids on the cruise.
Well, you're good. How you going to get around with that?
I'm thinking about Mr. and Mrs.
Kids,
Nordquist.
We're going on a cruise, and you're not. How are you gonna square that with the children?
Go on a cruise with them someday. But for my first cruise, I'd rather bring my gal.
Well, here's
and do it that way.
The reason the roaming hordes of youths were around because they had parents with them, and the parents were probably getting hammered somewhere, and they didn't care.
Well, no, but I can't do that. That's the thing. Is I can't go and get hammered and let my kids wander aimlessly, despite being somewhat captive on a ship. I can't do that.
They're going to jump off the boat. How old are your kids?
My kids are 10.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Okay.
Here, I'll tell you this. I was waiting for an elevator. And there was this kid he looked like he was probably wherever he's from. He's probably going to the St. Thomas Academy of whatever city he's from.
Right.
It had that academy kid look, you know, big bushy hair. And he's 9 years old. I was like, hey, was it Merry Christmas? Yeah, Merry Christmas. He goes, yeah, Merry Christmas to you. I can't find my parents. We were supposed to meet here, blah, 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 and they're not here. And this is not the first time they've done this to me, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? They must trust you to be on your own if they're not worried about meeting you on time. And he was like, I don't trust them. I said, well, let's see what happens in 9 months. You may have a brother or sister.
Well, I do.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Nordquist going on a cruise without the kids, what do you think is going to be the outcome of that one?
Well, it's going to be awesome is what it's going to be. And I'm going to find there's got to be a cruise level there's got to be a cruise line or a cruise itself that would not have all the kids on it.
I think there's cruises like that.
Yeah.
Virgin, maybe? Norwegian? I don't know.
I'll check it out. But I'm glad you had fun, though. And the reason I'm
just saying, if you and the missus go on a cruise, here comes Eric Jr., you know.
I have 3 daughters.
And you need voting.
Jr.
You need help with the voting because you're outvoted 3-1 right now.
It's
4-1.
It's something it's a thing. I have Archie. I got my dog Archie, and he and I just we try to find moments to isolate ourselves from my 3 beautiful daughters and my lovely bride. There's no doubt about it that.
Why are you gritting your teeth when you said 3 lovely daughters and a wonderful wife?
Because I adore them, and I am on an island sometimes. I'm not even on a cruise. I'm on an island somewhere. But no, someday I love that you had fun and you had a great first experience on a cruise. And I don't know if you watched like that Netflix show about when like the sewer backed up on that cruise line. Okay,
that came out in 2013. Someone told me about it while I was at the airport about to fly to Miami to start this whole trip.
There we go.
So I went on Netflix and watched the documentary, The Poop Cruise. It's called Poop Cruise.
I think so, yeah.
And I was on with Burrell. That's right. I was on with Burrell Friday, the day before I was leaving. And someone's like, well, you got to watch The Poop Cruise. And so I watched it, and I don't know why I watched it, because by the time I arrived in Miami, I'm thinking, okay, what if that happens to us? What if the engine goes out?
It's a terrible thing to watch before you do it.
Everything goes 6s and 7s, and it's a mess, literally and figuratively. So when that didn't happen here, got through without a terrible calamity occurring. Because there's like 5,000 people on this boat, and there's 2,000 workers. And it's ridiculous.
No, I know. I watched the Netflix special. I know what could potentially happen, and that'd be awful. But it's the ultimate rarity.
Yes.
I mean, we can, you see things like that, something goes viral online or something. You can somewhat trick yourself or scare yourself into thinking that that's actually more normal than the 0.0001% that it really is. But I'm glad you had fun, man. And I'm glad it was around 9:30-ish. I'm just curious. You had that deluxe drink package, as you mentioned, when you sent a photo to PA and I. It was 9:30-ish with the big old stogie. And I know what that meant. Go Bears. And then there was a video. I won't repeat, all the audio and the verbiage that was used as part of that, but there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of love coming from your heart on a cruise that you were having a blast at, while your Bears were finding their way to being division champions and loving everything Bears, aren't you? Are you still loving everything Bears?
Kings of the North, my friend.
Kings of the North, right?
Yes.
So I gotta figure out best of after the show.
So is Football Feast at Egan this Friday?
It's at Egan.
Okay.
We have right now, I believe it's Chad Greenway, the opening hour. And then we have, and I maybe you've met him, Alan Roach, US Bank Stadium, Vox. He does all the Super Bowls.
I have never met Alan Roach.
He, first of all, he's an awesome dude. And, frankly, you know what? I don't always speak for PA, but I will in this particular case. Why don't you drop by if you can? We'll find a way to chat it up.
I plan on swinging by.
And because I feel like you and we and you would be aligned into this game, as in, let's just beat on the Packers.
I do have a Zoom call at noon, so I have to work around that because Nico Medved's doing a Zoom call prior to the Gophers' next couple games.
Well, again, we're open in the 10 a.m. hour for you, maybe if you want to stop by.
Okay.
Before you get to your Zoom call.
Okay.
At noon. Lavelle, your Bears are champs. Are you still loving the Bears?
Yeah. Obviously, they've exceeded expectations. I was hoping they'd get to 9. I thought if they got to 9 wins, it'd be great. But the Philadelphia victory kind of started changing my mind about what was possible.
Yeah.
And just the way things have shaken out in the NFC and with some of these other teams, I was like, okay, if we get to 11, we can win the division. So I was now getting greedy. I was like, I need 2 more wins. So the Packer game, definitely was a big one. I don't think our defense is ready for prime time yet. We tend to give up yards to tight ends and slot receivers, and we need to get more pressure on quarterbacks. But Dennis Allen's done a remarkable job with what he's had to work with. What all the defensive backs have been out. Kyler Gordon is out again for like the second or third time this year. Nahshon Wright, for all the splash plays he makes and the fumble recoveries and the passes deflected, teams still go at him. So they must obviously see something in his coverage ability that they feel like they can exploit. It's kind of like my first year in the Twins beat when they had Marty Cordoba in left. Marty was among the league leaders in outfield assists. It wasn't because he was a terrific outfielder with a big arm. It's because no one respected him as an outfielder, so they ran at him all the time. So he racked up the assists based on volume, So I see that bit with Nahshon Wright. But the offense is really, the last month, the offense has really kind of fallen into place here with Caleb dropping dimes and making.
Albeit in a loss, how good was he at the Bay?
Oh, it was great. Here's the thing about San Francisco, and I think every team in the NFC is flawed. You can score on San Francisco. There's going to have, if you could beat, you're going to have to win
They
a shootout.
can't get to the QB, man.
No, you can't. He gets rid of the ball so quick. He knows where he's going with the ball before the ball snapped, and he gets it out of his hand. Christian McCaffrey, the first guy's not bringing him down. They're not.
Right.
And Shanahan's been able to scheme other bits with his wide receivers. I love how he uses his fullback. He puts him into motion, and then he snaps the ball. So now Juszczyk turns into a rhinoceros because now he's rumbling. And he's just clobbering people, opening up lanes for McCaffrey. It's a great scheme that Shanahan's got going, working with San Francisco. But when at the beginning of the game when they're doing, when they're announcing the players and their Pro Football Focus rankings, like all of them were like in the 50s and 60s. Like a couple guys were in the 20s. There was nobody in the top 10 in their position. I was like, okay, this defense doesn't have any hell races because Warner's out and Watt's out, right? And that means a lot for them. So
it absolutely does.
And Caleb started making plays with his arm. Receivers were open. Luther Burton was healthy, put up 100 yards. I lost a fantasy football championship because of Luther Burton because my opponent picked him up 2 hours before kickoff. Burton goes 120 with a touch and knocks me out of the fantasy championship, which the guy was like, I was hoping that a former Bear would do you in. I had to put up with that crap. But
absolutely.
But it was an entertaining game. I was worried the Bears were going to get blown out, but they acquitted themselves well. So I'm bummed out that they lost, but I'm not devastated.
Let's do this. Let's pause and continue this conversation just to catch up on the clock. I ran news a bit long in the first segment, but we're going to continue this with Lavelle Neal III in studio on a New Year's Eve. A fresh glow about him post-cruise. But final hour, 9 to noon, continues next.
It's your final shot to win sweet tickets this Saturday, Coors Light Hockey Night. You can join Corey Cove, Firehouse Grill, Elko New Market, 8 to 10 p.m. Catch Minnesota take on LA. Enjoy drink specials, play hockey trivia for your shot at great prizes, including those sweet tickets. Get all the details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Nordoin for PA. It will be, as I said earlier, I put this in quotes. It will be best of tomorrow, New Year's Day. And then we're live and local at Buffalo Wild Wings Egan on Friday, the finale feast. Buffalo Wild Wings Egan to pump up Border Battle 1. It's got to be around 1:30 by now. But the Vikings hosting the Packers. Max Brosmer versus Clayton Tune. Who knows? Brett Blakemore mentioned earlier they added Desmond Ridder in Green Bay. So border battle subterfuge. Desmond Ridder, who had been with the Vikings earlier in the year because of our own quarterback-related issues, now a member of the Packers, probably backing up Clayton Tune on Sunday.
I mean, the game's meaningless, so I can't see how subterfuge and
border battles are not meaningless.
Trying to drop it in somebody's playbook, is going to be a matter.
Yeah,
so,
it was just
Ridder may be the best of the available quarterbacks out there.
They're looking for any edge they can, Lavelle, because it's a border battle. That's why they signed Desmond Ridder.
At this point, I think the loser gets a better draft pick, right?
Gosh, no. Well,
the Vikings are going for 9-8 though, so that's their motivation.
I think we're behind. Aren't we behind the pack regardless because of the tie?
Oh God, yes, the tie.
Yeah, the stupid tie. Yeah, stupid tie.
And they kicked the field goal to assure the tie. They didn't even have the marbles to go for it and get a touchdown.
Is that true? Is that true, Brett?
I was in Vegas. It was September 28th.
Did you?
Well, it worked out because we clinched the playoffs and we've been coasting for 2 weeks now. So it's cool. Worked all out for us.
I don't know if you've noticed, though. I mean, as it's certainly worked out for you, you're in the postseason. Vikings are staying at home, so I'm not standing in a position of superiority. I understand that, but when we're talking about the NFC playoffs, there's one team that just doesn't come up. Mm-hmm. There's one team that just isn't a factor in the playoffs, and you understand that. I think you can humbly understand why that your team is not brought up as being a factor at this particular point. But then, snotty, the smugness of Packers fans. And ever since you started doing Packer review with the Sultan of Smug, I feel like you are the court jester of Smug. You are an up-and-coming smug Packers fan, and that's good. Wear it. The Packers, as the non-factor that they are, how much would you love the ability to host Green Bay this first playoff weekend here, Lavelle Neal III in studio, and beat the Pack at Soldier Field to advance in the postseason?
We feel that the Packers are the easiest route to the next round of the postseason. So we welcome Green Bay coming back to Soldier Field.
The royal we as in the organization and the team and everybody.
Bears Nation prefers the Packers.
You're speaking on behalf of everyone. Round.
Yes, I am. The Allery's folks and everyone. So let's have Green Bay come back to our crib and try to win. When we have actually played better since that game. Caleb's definitely played better. We're going to be a little healthier. Who knows who their quarterback's going to be?
It'll be Jordan Love.
Are you sure he's going to get cleared?
Yeah, I mean it's nearly
like
2 weeks
3
away.
weeks at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already been out a week.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. You don't know what degree of a concussion he's had.
Okay, well now
how many has he had in the past?
You're really on a border battle week going to make me start defending and supporting the stupid smug Packers fans.
You cannot estimate. That's a concussion. Definitely 2 weeks. I mean, when he was in protocol was like, okay, he's not going to play next week. It's rare that you see a guy play the next week after entering the concussion protocol.
He practiced all week.
No, I totally agree.
What does practice mean? Standing on the sideline, flipping a ball in the air while everybody else is running through drills? I mean, he didn't clear protocol.
He's standing upright.
Unless the Packers are doing some skullduggery here to make sure he's super healthy for the postseason and just claiming he's not out of protocol.
Well, of course that's exact. I mean, they're not going to risk anybody that is high end on that team.
Well, they're frauds then.
But now, so
okay.
I simultaneously totally agree with you, Lavelle, that the Packers are the easiest route to the next round.
Yes.
Because the other choice, of course, would be one of the NFC West juggernauts. You want nothing to do with the Rams or if the Niners or Seahawks, depending upon who doesn't get the 1 seed. You would want nothing to do with them. So I get it. Totally agree. Now I kind of want the Packers to roll into Soldier Field. I want Jordan Love. He can throw off his back foot all day. I don't care. Find Christian Watson 50 yards down the field and just dagger you guys. Now, and this is a weird universe and a weird spot for me to be in. But you're just so confident. Just they're not just a speed bump. They still have Evan Williams and Edgerrin Cooper. Rashawn Gary could wake up from his own coma that he's had.
Josh
for most
Jacobs
of the
is playing at like 70%
season.
right now. Josh Jacobs is barely moving through the locker room.
Hey, give him a week
between games.
No, give him a week.
We'll see.
People have been counting on Josh Jacobs to completely fall apart for like half a decade. The Raiders grinded him into dust, and all he's done since he went to Green Bay is put up 350 touches and has just been the clear patriarch focal point of that offense.
What I'm saying is that the Packers beat writers have watched him walk through the locker room the last 2-3 weeks with a noticeable limp because he has been beat into the ground.
Are you guys just the new school Lions fans? Lions fans used to put paper bags over their heads, and now they're speaking in the Motor City like they're on to a dynasty. The last time, in fairness, your team has certainly been much better and more game and more apt consistently over the course of time. Your team in recent years has suffered its own struggles. I'm living in perpetual purgatory with my favorite team. You can't just like would you guarantee a win?
Against the Packers?
Against the Packers.
I'm not going to guarantee a win, but I like our chances.
Okay.
You're not going to guarantee it?
Why wouldn't you guarantee a win?
I like our chances. I'm going to say that. So,
what do you think the
Sounds
spread?
like-
and look, here's the
What do you
thing,
think
too.
the
Sounds like you
spread's
don't
gonna be?
believe in this team.
My organization, the football team that I support, has been trashed for so long. Through Eberflus, through Matt Nagy, with that 1 year he won 12, rolled up on 12 wins, and then went haywire after that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to enjoy
Was that
this.
Cody Parkey with the double doink?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I'm going to savor this. I'm going to enjoy this. You know, we've suffered for several years to get to this point.
Hell yeah, man.
So
all jokes aside,
I'm just letting it all, I'm sealing all the juices, as I like to say, just bringing it all in and just savoring it all.
yeah, all jokes aside, you absolutely should, because whether it's Caleb, and I wouldn't say that I've ever written him off. I just didn't like what I saw. And that's easy in a vacuum of a rookie season. But what Ben Johnson's done in a very short period of time is nothing short of remarkable and deserving of all praise. And, Monungai and Swift, the tandem that they've been, I mean, what a find, right? With Monungai, the former Rutgers cat. Wasn't Pacheco like his college teammate? He was a 6th or 7th rounder out of Rutgers, and the Chiefs made a thing out of him. Although they've had trouble running the ball now.
I have to say this last draft by Ryan Poles has been impressive because we've gotten Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, and Kyle Monungai out of it, who have impacted the offense.
Yeah.
And Ozzie Trapilo is actually getting a lot of reps as an offensive tackle.
My guy.
Here's a crazy thing. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Colston Loveland, and Luther Burden.
Yeah.
All have between 40 and 50 receptions, and all are like in the 600 yards in reception range.
Well, yeah,
so all of them any one of those four can have leading the team in receiving yards this year. And DJ Moore's value has skyrocketed. He's reminded everyone of his value with Odunze being injured, and Odunze should be back for the Packer game. By the way,
he is going to be back,
and we won. We beat the Packers with I think Burton. I don't know if Burton played in that game. Odunze was definitely out. I think Burton was out too. So we'll be closer to full health. Fingers crossed on this Sunday's game against the Lions.
Caleb needs 270 yards to become the first 4,000-yard passer in Bears history.
Well, that means he needs 100 and 170 minus 270. That means he needs just over 100 yards
right now.
He needs just over 100 yards passing to break the single season passing yardage record held by Eric Kramer, which is like 3,800 and something.
I figured it would have been Cutler. I don't know why.
No.
Kramer, okay.
Yeah.
So 39 and change for Kramer.
Yes.
But let's just, why don't we just shoot the moon here? Let's just call it a 4,000-yard season. Do you think Ben Johnson, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause. We're going to come back, final segment. I want to ask you how important this Week 18 game is to Ben Johnson because it's the Lions, and we'll put a wrap on the show. Okay, Lavelle?
Sounds good to me.
That's Lavelle and Neal. The third final segment is now. All right, final hour. Final segment, Lavelle. We were going to talk about, look, Ben Johnson, the Bears need to win to secure themselves the 2 seed. Whatever. I'm on the verge of I'll never say go Pack go in this potential or most likely wild card.
Yeah, your boy
matchup,
PA going on Twitter with the do the Packers a solid thing really upset me.
It did?
I thought it was classy.
I thought it was jackassery.
But your Bears, tremendous season. Thanks for the cruise update. Appreciated that. Glad you got home safely. Glad you had a blast. It was your first cruise experience.
Yes,
now you
it
got
was.
me thinking about investigating cruises myself.
I think a family cruise would be a great thing for the Norquist.
No kids, no casinos. So somebody texted in this Viking River Cruises actually sounds pretty sweet. But I'm going to check into some things and find my way there. Low-key New Year for you? You're just going to chill?
But that's the plan right now. Like I said, we may hit the local watering hole for a bit, and then we go back home, have some champagne at midnight, and call it a year, man. So, I mean,
Call it a year.
Our present to ourselves was the cruise, you know.
Yeah.
So, the urgency to really live it up on New Year's Eve isn't there. You know, we're still coming down from the high. We're in post-cruise hubris right now at the Neal household.
No, I totally get that, by the way. But thank you for coming in this morning. Everything that you do for 9 to noon, man. You're the best. And if you do find your way to Buffalo Wild Wings Egan on Friday, feel free, man. Just stop in and say, hey.
I'm going to try to
chop
stop
it up
in
for a little bit if you can.
I guess some stuff going on. I like to swing by, check out the vibe, and see how many Packer fans dare to show up. Is Sinekin going to go make an appearance?
Sinekin, no.
Really?
But it will be Chad Greenway, and it will be the Vox of all Voxes, Alan Roach.
So
and maybe Lavelle.
You'll be there.
Yeah, it'll
So
be Alec
Blake Moore
Lewis.
will be here holding down the fort?
Either Blake Moore or Devin.
Okay.
Potentially. Somebody we appreciate.
Okay.
Thank you, Lavelle. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, everybody, for listening to 9 to noon. Have an awesome new year. Again, live and local back with you on Friday. And we got all kinds of stuff. We got hockey today, extended pregame, go beat the Sharks. We got Wolves, go beat Naw and the Hawks.
Bowl games.
We got bowl games. We have World Junior Hockey. We got all kinds of stuff on your home for all sports. The Fan. Have an awesome afternoon.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.